I'm Lisa Robinson. I'm your Pickering City Councillor. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Councillor Lisa Robinson. She's been in some hot water as of late. This city councillor from the Durham region, the city of Pickering, if you really want to get picky about it, if you really want to get picky about Pickering, she's a city councillor from the Durham region of Pickering. She's been in some hot water because she has been criticizing Black History Month. Earlier in February, or maybe it was June, you never really know when Black History Month starts or ends. We's be on island time. But, she was criticizing Black History Month. Now, the latest hubbub in this saga, she was getting run through the ringer on the CBC. They wrote an article. I made a video about it. You can check it out. They ran her through the ringer. There's no room for this type of rhetoric, and it hurts people and communities and blah, blah, blah. They made a big stink about it, right? Some of her comments. And in all fairness, we couldn't find the article where she made these comments. At least I couldn't. It wasn't readily available. But I have since found that article. I shall read it to you shortly. But to begin with, the latest in the Lisa Robinson scandal in regards to Black History Month. This is an article from DurhamRegion.com. And I'm just going to give you a little snippet because it's a long-ass article and there's more to read. All right? So you can get the full article, DurhamRegion.com. The title of the article is Pickering Council Calls on Ontario Human Rights Commission after Councillor Lisa Robinson's controversial column, which appeared to denounce Black History Month. The City of Pickering is asking the Ontario Human Rights Commission to hold a public interest inquiry following a controversial opinion piece penned by Councillor Lisa Robinson. Council voted 6-1 at a special council meeting on April 2nd in support of a motion brought forward by Ward 1 Regional Councillor Maurice Brenner and Ward 2 City Council Mara Nagy. A line in the motion says the Municipal Act should be changed so public officials who promote discrimination can be removed from office. Last week, Council voted to support the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's request to have it amended. The motion specifically states the continued conduct of Robinson with no remorse and their unwillingness to take corrective measures has prompted organizations and individuals to demand that Pickering Council take immediate steps to deal with the harm that has been caused, including the removal of the councillor from public office. The motion asks the Ontario Human Rights Commission to hold a public interest inquiry in Pickering so the Commission can listen to the community on the need to enshrine in the Municipal Act tools that can address the conduct of an elected official who engages in behavior that promotes racism, prejudice, bias, and or discrimination against any identifiable group, including their removal from public office. Brenner said the motion was not regarding Robinson, the Ward 1 City Councillor, specifically. So that's the gist of the article. It's a long article. You can get the full article, DurhamRegion.com, and that's the gist of it. The motion asks the Ontario Human Rights Commission to hold a public interest inquiry in Pickering so the Commission can listen to the community on the need to enshrine in the Municipal Act tools that can address the conduct of an elected official who engages in behavior that promotes racism, prejudice, bias, and or discrimination against any identifiable group, including their removal from office. They're trying to come up with safeguards and tools to kick people out for having an opinion, which they call, prejudice, bias, discrimination. But isn't the tool for that your vote? These people are elected, right? Like, isn't your tool to kick people in and out of office in government your actual vote? I ain't the smartest cookie in the shed, but or the sharpest cookie in the fucking drawer, or whatever the saying is. But, you know, isn't that what it's all about? Using your vote to speak for these things instead of coming up with a need to enshrine in the Municipal Act tools that can address the conduct of an elected official. Anyway, here is the actual article that got Lisa Robinson in hot water to begin with. I'm going to read it. It's a bit of a mouthful. Bear with. It's pretty long. And as a brother, I'm not quite into, you know, working harder than necessary. I prefer to be late, lazy, and, you know, lustful. I don't know, whatever you want to call a black man these days. But, you know, this is a long-ass piece of writing. We're going to get into it. I had a hard time finding it before, and it's like, that was the whole crux of the whole Lisa Robinson thing to begin with, yet they never made the article available. I found it on Reddit. I'm pretty sure this is the article. I'll post it on the podcast. And I mean, you decide. You see how you feel about this. Is it worthy of enshrining in the Municipal Act tools to whatever, blah, 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 or, you know, we'll see. Quick sip of tea, balls. Don't mind me, balls. So this is what the whole stink was about to begin with. This is an article from the Oshawa Durham Central Newspaper. It's Not Black and White by Lisa Robinson, Pickering City Councillor. We are amidst Black History Month. Celebrations, plus more celebrations is all you hear. Politician after politician attempting to get Afro-Canadian vote, hypocritically championing a people's contribution throughout history. I remember in school being taught history, not Black history, Hispanic, Euro, Arabic, Southeast Rim, Oriental, and let's not forget Native, white, and or any other mix of races. Back then it was history. Yes, mistakes were made. Yes, mistakes at both ends of the color spectrum can be noted. The key here is why in this modern age we are so driven by color of skin instead of the human element. I say the human element as we are all people. In the race to equality, it is not the celebration of one race over another in itself racist. And for those not of that race hypocritical? Now before anyone goes getting offended, take off the offended cap and put on the thinking cap. Take off the offended cap and put on the thinking cap. Someone not so long ago, of status in the community and of color, dare call me white privilege. Really? If that's not a racist statement, I do not know what is. The same person is to champion equality across the board, but it seems that due to limited intellect, they confuse the meaning of equality with the attempt to denounce in the name of punishing everyone for their psychological insecurity stemming from race. This scares me. I'm not prejudiced nor discriminatory. I have friends of all nationalities, and as an elected official, I treat everyone equal without bias. Now, back to being called privileged. How does the color of my skin make me privileged? I have had to work hard for everything I own. I endure economic hardships just like the many reading this, like the many of all colors. So much so that my own employer, city elect biasly and with extreme prejudice, cut my pay for 90 days for exercising my freedom of speech over a comment I made in regard to feeling like my council was treating me like a modern day slave. I added the laugh. Now I feel I was persecuted and punished, and my rights and freedoms were violated to the point where I felt discriminated. Then, how is that this person dares tell me I am privileged? The problem we face is that in society there's so much hate, so much confusion, and so many people in the positions they are not fit to hold. For anyone to become upset or insulted over modern-day slavery, the words, is pure insanity on their part, a show of their limited intellect and their psychological scaring due to misunderstanding and lack of self-esteem. Now let's leave that for another column. Okay, how many trials and how many indictments do you want to face? Let's leave that for another article. Good gracious. How many more articles do you want to write and get yourself tarred and feathered, woman? Anyway, here we go. Now let's leave that for another column. The point here is that we are all of all colors, modern day slaves. Oh, okay. That's the point. The point here is that we are all of all colors, modern day slaves. We are led to believe that we have choices, that we have freedom, and that we have rights. Okay, now she's getting a little close to home for me. That makes a lot of sense. We do live in a world where, it's like, we're led to believe that, oh yeah, you have choice. Your vote counts. Your voice counts. Wrong. Freedom Convoy 2022. Have you heard of it? Anyway, that's my interjection. Let me continue here. In reality, we are all slaves of our demise. Try not going to work for a month. See how that affects your rights and freedoms. Now back to slavery and color. First and foremost, slavery is not a white and black issue. Today, modern world slavery is in traditional sense still in practice. Let me pause for a moment. Sorry, there's a lot of typos and misspellings and grammatical errors. Even as a black man, I could tell a grammatical error when I sees one, boss. So, that's why I'm fumbling a little bit here. I don't know if they did that on purpose. I don't know what the deal is, but it's there's a lot of spelling errors and grammatical flubs. But, I will bear with, I'm not as privileged as others who don't have to deal with grammatical errors. My black ass has to read them grammatical errors and make sense of them because I don't have the privilege of using autocorrect or spell check. I don't got the luxury of using AI to read this damn thing for me, as some privileged people do. As a black man, I gotta read this damn thing my damn self. Okay, now back to the slavery and color. First and foremost, slavery is not a white and black issue. Today, in modern day world, slavery is in the traditional sense is still practiced. Places like Saudi Arabia, some of the South Pacific countries, and Africa itself. So then why are we celebrating Black History Month in Canada? We are so hung up on North American history and the historical trafficking of primarily African descent people that we have lost sense of time and period. Back in those days, society was very different. Today, we have come a long way, even though slavery is practiced across the planet. We do not have other nations' race history in Canada. Like the many that were brought from Latin America, the Orient, are we, by celebrating in segregation, not only reminding everyone of a very dark part in North American history? Also, are we not, in the name of equality, showcasing prejudice? If this is so, then why is it that we continue to do it? Could it a political attempt to fool people? I think they meant to say, could it be? Could it be a political attempt to fool people? I say this because if we acknowledge our differences between all the races, is that not prejudice in itself? Why should the government have special programs for some races, almost excluding others as deeming these programs exclusive to one race? Special black business programs, special black business loans. Now, to add more interest to this intellectual conundrum, when we speak of black and white, there are many shades of white. There are many shades of brown, yellow, red, black, and so on. That's very interesting because I'm a black man, but as you can see, I'm brown. But I am a black man. So, there are many shades of white, So I know she's making some sense here as a white woman. When we speak of black and white, there are many shades of white. There are many shades of brown, yellow, red, black, and so on. As well, there is prejudice within the color spectrum. Then the question remains, how are we truly to express our equality when it comes to color difference? Is it beneficial for equality to be demanded by honoring indifferences? What if it was White History Month? Would that not be seen as prejudice? The argument is, the rest of the year is White History Month. The argument is, the rest of the year is White History Month. Well, no, because history in general never had a color. Just episodes of history make references to the many conflicts and joint efforts of all color. Much like during the World Wars, soldiers of all races and color fought for our freedom. They sacrificed without thought or division based on color. It scares me that in this modern society, we have people that would dare support such division by celebrating differences of color. I support Afro-Canadian contributions to this great nation. I do not support the Black History Month statement any more than white privilege, as both statements lack understanding and the intellect of meaning of its intent. God made us in his image, an image that is not superficial, but one derived from one heart, one love. We can't ever be equal as long as we allow color to divide us. Strength does not lie in the absence of fear, but in the courage to face it head on and rise above it. That is an article from Lisa Robinson, Pickering City Councillor, in the Oshawa Durham Central Newspaper. It is Not Black and White by Lisa Robinson. That's the article that caused all the kerfuffle regarding Black History Month and her comments. Yeah. Quick sip of tea, balls. Don't mind me, balls.
Canadians, for the most part, since the war, have worked diligently to reach their current positions in life. They were taught the value of hard work, whether in sports or in their professions, so they could provide for their families. They were not handed participation ribbons or told to forget their dreams because of the color of their skin. So I think it is essential to understand that historical injustices should be acknowledged and learned from to prevent their repetition. Unfortunately, it appears that we have not fully learned from our past mistakes, as we find ourselves once again segregating people based on factors such as race, religion, and sexual preference. To overcome racism and achieve a society free from discrimination, it is imperative that we move beyond constantly discussing and creating groups around these issues. Stop referring to me as a white woman. Call me Lisa, and I will call you by your name. I do not play into this divisive game by judging people by the color of their skin, their religion, or their sexual preference. I will judge you by whether or not you are a good person or if you are a bad person. I recently lost 60 days pay partly because I believe that displaying special interest flags on government buildings serves more as a demonstration of power rather than fostering unity. I would love to see Canadians and all its wonderful, diverse people strive to be united under one flag. We need to get back to a place where we love our neighbors and where we extend helping hands to those in need, regardless of their backgrounds or their beliefs. Back to a place where we prioritize our most vulnerable, our most innocent. It's a government that plays a crucial role in addressing societal challenges. We should be focusing on ending homelessness, ensuring affordable education, and creating a fair justice system that does not disproportionately favor or disadvantage individuals based on their race. In order to build a strong nation, we must recall the sacrifices and honor our brave men and women who fought for our freedom and the democratic values. They believed in the essence of humanity, by where one's character should be the basis for judgment, not the color of one's skin. I'm Lisa Robinson. I'm your Pickering City Councillor. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
My thoughts, well, she makes a point. I hear her point and she makes a point. I just don't know if it's a good one. And granted, I'm biased. I'm a black man. And as she pointed out, there are many shades of white. There are many shades of black. I mean, I'm a black man, but I'm really brown when you look at it. But, you know, I'm a black man. And maybe I'm a little biased here, but it's like, I hear her point. I see her point. All the emphasis on race does seem a little silly and divisive. And, you know, it's a little much. It's a little fake and phony because, you know, I think people in this day and age try to weaponize their perceived injustices to curtsy or garner favor, you know, oh, my generational legacy of pain and trauma. Oh, I'm a woman. Oh, I'm a LGBTQ plus spectrum person. I'm black. I'm Asian. I'm a, you know, cisgendered white man and I never get to say anything. Like everyone's bitching and whining and belly aching about their own little damn differences. So it does get a bit much after a while, you have to admit. I mean, it gets a little sickening to your stomach. Makes you sick to your stomach hearing these babies, bedwetters, and fucking binary motherfuckers be bitching and whining and belly aching all damn day. Make you sick to your stomach. You know? But, you know, she does have a point. But it's just like, it's a strange point because Black History Month is a celebration. Now, I understand, like, if you're not into it, hell, my black ass ain't really into it. One time somebody tried to give me a Black History Month pamphlet. They tried to sell me one, right? It's like, what's up, my brother? Happy Black History Month. And I was like, what? Did you know that the black man is the first man to invent the toaster? I said, oh yeah, well, who invented the oven? He just stared at me, right? Probably a German, you know? Achtung! Pop-Tarts. But, you know, I was like, a celebration is a celebration. If you want to celebrate something, you want to be interested in something, you want to learn about something, then go learn about it. Go celebrate it, whatever. You know, I don't really understand that. So what, are we going to shut down St. Patrick's Day? No more St. Patrick's Day. Listen here, you fucking drunken fucking beer drinking motherfucker. You green beer drinking son of a bastard, son of a gizzard. You're not going to be drinking no more green beer in my vicinity. No more, damn it. No more St. Patrick's Day. You know what? What? No more St. Patrick's Day? Huh? No more, what was that, Robbie Burns Day when people walk around in kilts? Isn't that what happens on Robbie Burns Day? You got to wear a kilt and eat haggis or whatever. You know, like, these are little things that people like to celebrate and enjoy in society. How do you take away a celebration? I understand not wanting to stand by certain political posturing and sort of political pressure, like, you know, Black Lives Matter. I mean, that's a bit overbearing. And, you know, I ain't with that. A lot of people aren't with that Black Lives Matter stuff. And, you know, I mean, I can understand wanting to distance yourself from that. But like a cultural celebration where people indulge in their cultures and celebrate their differences. Like people, you know, like for example, some people, I know some dorky white people that, you know, They don't think anything negative about black people. They love black people. And every Black History Month, they go, I'm sick of listening to my country western music. Here we go. It's yeehaw, Black History Month. Put on some James Brown, damn it. They start listening to their R&B, Motown, funk. That's their extension of Black History Month. It's just a fun little celebration. No big deal. Are we making a bigger deal about this than it needs to be? Because where do you stop? And check this out. This here is a list from citysources.com. Whatever. It's not like some... And by the way, we're living in this era where it's like you got to find your information and use your own mind. Don't take my word for this shit just because I'm saying it. Go look it up for yourself. But this is a little snippet from cityresources.com, I believe the website is. Canada Heritage, I don't even know what the website is. I don't give a shit and I don't fucking know. But go look for yourself and you will find online various places where you can find out about cultural celebrations. So Canada Heritage and Awareness Months. Just in Canada alone, we have... What do we have? January is Tamil Heritage Month. March is Francophone Month. April is Sikh Heritage Month in Canada. May is Asian Heritage Month in Canada. May is also Jewish Heritage Month in Canada. June is Filipino Heritage Month in Canada. Italian Heritage Month in Canada is June as well. National Indigenous History Month, June. Portuguese Heritage Month, June. Canadian Islamic History Month, October. Black History Month, February. Genocide Remembrance, Condemnation and Prevention Month, April. Like the list goes on, folks. And in Ontario, there's some official ones as well. In Ontario, we can learn about the contributions of various cultural groups to Canada and the province of Ontario. January is Tamil Heritage Month. February is Black History Month. March is Bangladeshi Heritage Month. April is Sikh Heritage Month. May is Asian Heritage Month. June is National Indigenous History Month. October is Women's History Month. November is, whatever the fuck. Like, come on. You got to look to what the people want sometimes, right? The people want to celebrate. If people want to celebrate that shit, that very important piece of cultural awareness, if people want to celebrate that, then they want to celebrate it. Who are we to dash the cup of joy from their lips? You know what I mean? They want to jump up and down and wear a dashiki. Who gives a shit? Go wear your dashiki. Go wear your dumb turban. Go celebrate women's history by reading Jane Eyre and, watching Pretty Women or Little Women or whatever the fuck. Go listen to a fucking Taylor Swift album. It's the Women's Heritage Month. If that's what floats your boat, then do it. Who am I to dash the cup of joy from your lips? I ain't gonna squawk about it. You want to jump up and down and be happy because you're a woman? Go ahead. You want to jump up and down because you're black and puff your afro out and beat your chest and watch Black Panther? Go ahead, do it. I don't give a shit. I watched 10 seconds of that film, Black Panther. I was never more offended in my life. If you ever seen the movie Black Panther, it opens with this tracking shot. It's like this tracking shot of the clouds, right? And it goes, once upon a time in Africa. I was never more offended in my life. I just turned that shit right off. I'm sick of being brown beaten to death about every black thing that ever happened on the planet. It makes you sick after a while. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, so yeah, you gotta let the people decide. And in terms of these safeguards that they want to put up in regards to the Municipal Act and safeguarding against discrimination within the electoral system. Well, that's what your vote is for. If her actions are actually wrong and offensive, it will be mirrored in the vote. In her vote for city, when it comes to re-election time, that's when people can put their voice forward. You don't need all these little booby traps set by these fucking pundits to, speak for the people. The people. God bless you, Lisa Robinson. And, keep on rocking in the free world. Hallelujah. And also, what are your thoughts? Comments, questions, and queries. What are your thoughts regarding that? I'm going to post a picture of that article. I think it's the right article. It's the one that started the whole kerfuffle about Black History Month and Lisa Robinson. Wasn't exactly easy to find, but I found it. And, what do you think? I mean, I think that, she will have her due process in the electoral system. It's not a big deal. I generally understand her point and appreciate her point, but I also think it's a bit reaching to be like, oh, people can't celebrate their culture or not, oh, you're being divisive. What I really think is like, like everything, we live in a world of cynicism motivated by self-interest. Nobody really cares. We're all self-centered at the end of the day. I'm not. I'm moving past my ego. I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying to transcend in life. But generally speaking, I'm just like the 99.9% of bozos out there, motivated by self-interest. So when she speaks about, I guess she felt under attack. She was under attack. She was called a person who deals in white privilege. She was being called a white privileged person. And she was feeling the heat. She was feeling the attack from that. So she lashed back the way she lashed back. Well, if I'm a white privileged person, what is Black History Month? Bada boom. Touché. So she made her point. We live in a world of cynicism, motivated by self-interest. Nobody really cares. So I also see that as part of her, hey, that's my opinion. I see it as a part of her impetus is that, she was attacked for being called white privilege. So then she pushed back the way she pushed back. And generally speaking, I would agree with much of what she says. Though it's a bit reaching, I think, to deny people the cup of joy, to dash the cup of joy from someone's lips just for wearing a dashiki every February. I mean, give me a break. What, you want me to take my dashiki? What, you want me to return my dashiki to Winners? Winners only sells dashikis every February. It only comes around once a year. So, I go buy myself a new dashiki. What, am I supposed to take it back to Winners and fight with I'm sorry, sir, we can't return this. It's worn. Oh, come on. Come on, please. I only wore it once on fucking Black History Month. And, I don't want to be divisive. I don't want to be divisive, and I don't want to put up these barriers of division, like, because I wear a dashiki and you don't wear a dashiki. I want you to be my brother. Just let me return the dashiki, for God's sakes. Well, sir, we can't return the dashiki. Oh my God, you wore it. Oh my God. It's all horse feathers. It's all chicken feathers at the end of the day, if you want to know how I really feel about it. But anyway. Hit me up, jr.thepodcast at gmail.com. What are your thoughts? Hallelujah. Moving right along here.